What's up, YouTube? Got a discussion to do today. It's another list. This is going to be the 5 coolest yo-yo design trends, at least currently and in my opinion. Yes, I know some of these things have been around for a while, but I feel like a lot of these have kind of been perfected or at least kind of brought back out this year to really be important and have been really good for yo-yo design and have produced some really good yo-yos. Let's just get right into it, and these aren't in any particular order. It's just, these are 5 things that I've seen and have been in yo-yos that I've really enjoyed that have come out this year in 2017. So the first thing that I've seen is I'm going to call this the Fingerspin nipple, because basically what it is, it's like an overcut. So instead of there being an undercut to remove center weight, it's like a pushed up dimple so that facilitates a longer axle, but also removes some center weight by cutting out the sides here. So a good example is going to be the Unspoken Apollo, which you guys saw me do the review of the other day. So this kind of comes up and has like a little concave portion right there for finger spins, but it coming up sort of instead of a nipple facilitates a longer axle, also removes center weight by cutting out right here around where you would want to finger spin. You can also ride that and finger spin around that as well, which is kind of the way I prefer to do it, and it sort of gives you something to grab onto, which is very cool, and it's very aesthetically pleasing as well. Kind of looks like a button. Very cool, and in my opinion, a really cool design trend that is something that's been popping up a lot this year, because everybody needs to put in a finger spin dimple now, but a lot of times they don't want all that center weight to facilitate it, so where they would have normally put like a nipple in, like on the One Drop Dang 2, there's like a nipple there to facilitate the axle being longer so that it doesn't strip out like, you know, a word irony or something. It's kind of this pushed up button that facilitates a finger spin dimple, but it's not tons and tons of rim weight because it doesn't have to have all this extra material around it as well. So very cool design aspect. It's actually on a lot of yo-yos that I really like, including the Kayak, the Apollo, and it's on the Interlagos as well, Smashing Yo-Yos Interlagos. So lots of good yo-yos have made use of it, and I think it really gives a really good yo-yo design and gives a really good weight distribution overall, allows them to push the weight to the rims while still keeping some center weight, but getting rid of some of that so that it doesn't kind of play like a chunky log. Second one, the fades. I know lots of yo-yos have been getting fades, but I feel like this year there's been a lot of fades, and a lot of good-looking fades. Yo-Yo Factory's done some black and silver ones that look really good. Kind of produces that strobe effect. This fade might be my favorite one. The Unspoken Apollo's cherry fade. So good. Look, spinning, I mean, it's just like, gives a really cool, like, sort of strobe effect. Do it down a little more. See what I mean? Just a cool strobe effect. Very neat. And I really like the very distinct line and the 2 like really distinct colors. A lot of other companies do let more subtle fades, and those are good too, but the really distinct fades I feel like really add a lot to the yo-yo, because when a splash is spinning, you can't really tell that it's got a splash on it. I mean, sure, maybe you can see in the middle there's like a little bit of a different color or something, but I feel like the fades, particularly when they're spinning, just depending on how your eye catches them, you can sort of really see that like strobe effect of the fade, which visually to play adds something for me, and I really like that. And I think it shows up really good in videos as well. I really like that as well. As somebody who creates a lot of yo-yo videos, I really appreciate when the yo-yos create a cool effect in the video. So the fades, particularly the distinct, very different fades with a solid like sort of one side this color, one side that color, I really like that, because for me personally, I really like the way they show up in videos. I really like the way they look when I'm playing with them. So overall, very cool. A very neat design aspect that I've sort of seen a good bit more this year, maybe because Yo-Yo Factory's doing some, and maybe that's part of it. There was a base camp. I know they did some edges that way. Lots of good stuff. And this is my favorite, like I said. So the fades, I think that everybody needs to be experimenting more with this because that cool strobe effect is just awesome. And I would like to see more of it, personally. This is all about me. I just get to talk. My channel. Anyway, so moving on. The next design aspect, I know people have been doing it this way for a long time, but I feel like it really kind of stepped up its game this year, is the sort of more boutique, I don't even know if I want to call them boutique, but the non-6061 aluminums. Basically like, 7075 aluminum people have been using a lot of for a long time, but I feel like this year it really stepped up, and it started with one drop right off the bat, doing the Countach 5000 QV. Basically they made a lighter Countach out of a heavier aluminum. After that they then did the Dang 2, which is great. Also made out of 7075 aluminum. And a lot of other companies have sort of stepped up and kind of been able to put in sort of a bimetal performance without actually having two separate kinds of metal in the Yo-Yo, which both keeps the cost down a little bit and facilitates a lot of other cool aspects where you're not just clamping on heavy ring to the end or a heavy ring somewhere that really just kind of concentrates all of the weight there, but kind of being able to distribute the weight in certain different ways that maybe you wouldn't be able to do with 6061 aluminum or with a bimetal design, but to still be able to kind of give it an enhanced and increased performance while maintaining a sort of light and quick yo-yo, but also having it be very stable and rim weighted as well. Just being able to sort of thin out the walls of the yo-yo where you don't want all the weight to be, particularly near the center. And then sort of give it weight distribution differently and not have to use as much material to give that extra weight distribution wherever you want it to be because of how heavy the aluminum already is. So 7075 has been around and been in use for a long time, but this year we also saw the 7068, the Ultra series, come out as well. Yo-Yo Factory put out 3 really cool yo-yos. I know the Forge was the Ultra, the Space Crown Ultra. I know it was the Forge before, so maybe that's not brand new, but they also did a Horizon Ultra, which in my opinion is a big step up from the original Horizon. It's super duper light, but still spins a long time and is super stable. And then they just did the ND Ultra, which is just awesome and the best Ultra yo-yo that they've done yet, at least that I've played. I will be doing a review of that eventually. So many yo-yos come out, so many to do, but it's been a good year for 7075, 7068, even 7003 aluminum, which they did, which Top Yo used on the Impulse and the Colossus 3. So a really good year for yo-yos that were not made of just regular old 6061 aluminum. So monometals, but 7075 monometals, 7068 monometals, and even 7003. Lots of really good designs have come out of those aluminums. Think of how cool titanium yo-yos are and how fun they are if you've ever had the chance to play a titanium yo-yo. I feel like that's sort of where 7068 aluminum and 7075 aluminum, I feel like that's where that kind of starts to bud into that area of like, well, this is going to play sort of like a titanium yo-yo, but it's made of aluminum and doesn't cost $300. So very cool, and I hope that keeps going. I hope people keep experimenting with that because it's a really cool design trend, and it's been awesome and produced a lot of really good yo-yos that I really, really like. Another one is hybrid plastics and like hybrid plastic metal. I know that Yo-Yo Jam had a lot of the patents on this stuff, and now that Yo-Yo Jam is gone, there have been a lot of companies who have been experimenting with it. This one's probably my favorite. This is the Too Sick en Passant. It's excellent, but there's also a lot of other good ones. The Ting is really good from Yo-Yo Empire, the Ting, and so is the Gamma Crash is good. A lot of companies just kind of pumping out stuff like that, putting out yo-yos that have just a metal ring, but they're machined plastic. They're smooth, they perform amazingly, but they have that like really nice plastic feel that guys like me who grew up playing plastic yo-yos really like for some reason. And overall, I think it's really cool. I think this one's my favorite one. I really do like the Impeson a lot. Metal weight rings in it, and performs like kind of like a bimetal, but still feels and plays like a plastic yo-yo. And to me, that's like a match made in heaven. I also really love this shape. I think Joey did a great job. But there's been a lot of good ones coming out lately. Good ones drop all the time. Yo-Yo Jam, now that they are gone, I do hope to see more experimentation and more companies using this hybrid metal plastic yo-yo design, because I really, really like it, and I've liked everyone that I've touched, so I hope to see more of them, because they're cool, and who doesn't want to see more cool yo-yos? I know I want to see more cool yo-yos. Tell me down in the comments if you want to see more cool yo-yos. Anyway, so that was number 4. This is number 5, and probably one of the coolest things for you know, a guy in his 30s who grew up during the yo-yo boom in the 90s to see come back into play is the return of the responsive yo-yos, particularly metal responsive yo-yos. This is the one-drop deep state, but the Alley Cat and the Gamer also came out this year. Corco did the Alley Cat, and my buddy Jeremy over at Rain City Throws did the Gamer, and all 3 are really fun yo-yos. They're all really distinct and different playing as well, which I really like. This one's probably my favorite, you know, because one drop's amazing and they do amazing stuff. And these are like just the regular side effects, so you can switch them out. And that's, I've played with them a lot because I'm weird like that and I like to do that. And that's what they're for. Play with them. Play with your yo-yos. Change the side effect. But the Deep State and the Alley Cat and the Gamer really, you know, have kind of brought in a lot of what that fixed axle, that modern fixed axle play, which has kind of been building over the last couple of years, brought in a lot of that, but also kind of allows you to kind of put some of your longer combos and tricks in with what you're doing in the fixed axle play. And I mean, it's really just kind of brought everything together. And these metal yo-yos, the ones that are designed nowadays, the machining is better, the designs are better, and the yo-yos perform overall better. And so a lot more can be done with them as far as tricks are concerned and trick creation. So it's sort of an old school throwback with like a new school spin on it, and just, you know, giving us more stuff to play with, putting more stuff within our arsenal to be able to create tricks and play with the yo-yos and just have fun. So the return of responsive yo-yos is absolutely one of the coolest and most fun trends that I've seen and been able to play with this year. So that's gonna do it for me though, guys. The 5 coolest trends of yo-yo design: finger spin caps, nipple things, whatever, buttons, finger spin buttons, fades, finger spin buttons, fades, 70, 75, 70, 68, extra special aluminums, hybrid plastics, and the return of responsives. That's my favorite trends of the year. It's going to do it for me today, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. I do yo-yo videos every day. I'm crazy. Why do I do this? But you'll get to see all of them if you subscribe and hit the bell. Ring the bell. You want to get notifications every time I put a video. You do. Promise. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Cheers to you. Delicious. I'll see you next time.